The next example is going to be just a little bit tougher because we're going to be working with some larger numbers, but we can handle it, I promise. We have 28x over x divided, 28x over x minus 3 plus 4 over x, all divided by 1 minus 6 over x equals 27. So, same process that we're used to. Step 1, multiply both sides by the denominator. Obviously, I mean the big denominator. So we get multiply by 1 minus 6 over x here on the left side and 1 minus 6 over x on the right side of the equation. And then, of course, step 2, cancel the denominator on the left side of the equation. So this over here cancels with this, and we're just left with what's on top over here. So we have 28x over x minus 3 plus 4 over x. And on the right side of the equation, we just have the same thing as before. Simplifying, left side of the equation is the same, but the right side, we're just going to multiply the 27 into the bracket. So 1 times 27 is 27. 27 times 6 over x equals, 27 times negative 6 over x gives you negative 162 over x. And as long as you have a calculator with you, you should be able to multiply that out pretty easily. Or if you can do it in your head, that's even better. Okay, step 3. Achieve a common denominator for the entire equation. Notice that we have x minus 3 as one of the denominators right here, and x as another. X here, x here. Okay, so we have x minus 3 and x as denominators. Therefore, we multiply every term by both x minus 3 and x. We have. So this first term, started with it, and I multiplied by x and x minus 3. The second term, multiplied it by x and x minus 3. This term over here, multiplied it by x and x minus 3. There's, this term over here, multiplied it by x and x minus 3. This will allow us to simplify. This will allow us to simplify the equation to get. Okay, so what can I do to simplify? I have x minus 3 over x minus 3. Cancels. Which means I just have 28x. Here, this x cancels with this x, so I just have 4 times x minus 3. Over here, there's no denominators, so this is just 27x times x minus 3. And then for the fourth term, there's the x canceling with the x, leaving you with negative 162 times x minus 3. So there's that. So this is our equation now. Step 4, expand both sides of the equation. Okay, so we need to expand it so that we can obtain all of the x squareds, the x's, and the regular numbers. So we have 28x times x equals 28x squared. 4 times x gives you 4x. 4 times negative 3 gives you negative 12. 27x times x gives you 27x squared. 27x times negative 3 gives you negative 81x. Negative 162 times x gives you negative 162x. Negative 162 times negative 3 gives you positive 486. We're getting into some pretty big numbers here, but hey, if you can handle the big numbers, you'll definitely be able to handle the small numbers. Looking on the bright side, right? Okay. So this is your equation now. Simplify it to get. Okay, so how are we going to simplify this? What I did is I subtracted both sides by 27x squared. So 28x squared minus 27x squared just gives me x squared. And that cancels on the right side. For the x's, we have some work to do because we have to add 81x and then we have to add 162x to both sides of the equation, so that this can cancel and this can cancel on the right side of the equation. And then on the left side we have 4x plus 81x plus 162x. And when you add the three of those together, you get 247x. And then finally, the regular numbers is just negative 12 over here and positive 486 over here. So we have to subtract 486 so that we can bring everything over to the left side of the equation. Subtract 486 on this side to cancel it. Subtract 486 on this side. So we have negative 12 minus 486, giving us negative 498. And so here's our equation. X squared plus 470. Let me try that again. X squared plus 247x minus 498 equals 0. Okay. Deep breath. And we move on to step 5. Step 5 says, to solve this equation for x, we will factor the quadratic. The final term is the final term is negative 498, so that was a typo. We are looking for two numbers which multiply to negative 498. We could list all the factors of negative 498, however, and on to the next page. Notice that 247 is close to half of 498. So what I'm saying here is 247 times 2 does not equal 498, but it's pretty close. It's 494. So what this leads us to suspect is that 2, the number 2, may be a solution to the quadratic. So what we're going to do is we're going to test out 2 just to see if it gives us, if substituting 2 into the equation will give us 0. So let's look at the equation again. X squared plus 247x minus 498 equals 0. If we were to plug in 2 into here and here, and the result equals 0, then we have found one of our solutions. So we're going to suspect that 2 is a solution. We're going to try it just to see if it works. And so that's what we do. We try it. We get 2 squared plus 247 times 2 minus 498. And look at that. Turns out that it equals 0. Because 4 plus 494 minus 498 is 0. Okay. So we're happy we found one of the solutions. 2 is indeed a solution to the quadratic. Thus, the quadratic factors 2. Because positive 2 was a solution to the quadratic, x minus 2 is going to be one of the factors that factors out. And once you factor out x minus 2, the other factor is going to be x plus 249. And the reason why the other factor is x plus 249 is because we have we need two numbers that multiply to give us negative 498. Negative 2 times positive 249 gives us negative 498. That's why our quadratic equation up here, x squared plus 247x minus 498 equals 0, factors into this, x minus 2, x plus 249. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and expand it and see what it is. It'll just equate to this. So we've solved the problem and we found our solutions. X equals 2 and x equals negative 249.